Hi everyone, this is Angelica. Thank you so much for joining me today. This video is called Rebuilding Your Life Force Energy. And I'm making this video today because your life force energy is what propels you to move forward, to realize your dreams in life, to be happy, to just be able to get through life on an even keel, to be able to be balanced and harmonized. So, because this is at the basis of my life's work, it's pretty much my destiny to figure out this holistic view of health through all the different facets that it incorporates, which are spiritual, emotional, physical, mental, and there's even more than that. So I've had to go on different routes and experience different things in order to experience myself and my own journey and really do the work on myself. Because if you don't do the work on yourself, then you don't really have anything to teach. This video is going to be based upon rebuilding your life force energy, because I want you to know that no matter where you're at or no matter how bad things have gotten, there's always a way to rebuild, to become new. Because it may seem that our physical body is what is the reality here, or our physical surroundings are what is real. However, most of the things that build up your physical life, actually all of them, 100% of them, are first unseen, and then they merge down and become the density of physical reality. So we can try as hard as we want to make things happen in a physical way, really coming from our lower chakras, really pushing through. And, you see people that have success with doing that. But those people that do have success in doing that are actually utilizing these other elements, the emotions, the thoughts, the spirit. And so it's been my life's work to try to figure out how to merge the two, how to bring the two together, and to form a whole. So my work is primarily based on a holistic approach, the wholeness of a person, not just focusing on the physical, not just focusing on the spiritual, but merging the two together in a union that becomes the oneness and the essence of who you are, who I am. So, I have been really incorporating a lot of these things into myself. One of my biggest challenges in life has been kind of going outside of myself to try to fix things, to try to help, to try to make things a certain way. But you know probably from experience that this doesn't work well. And so I've gone on a journey of healing myself. Although it has been a challenging journey, I have made a lot of progress. And from seeing my videos, you probably know that. So how do you rebuild your life force energy with all these different components? How do you piece them together? Well, the first thing I'd like to talk about is we don't ever want to do everything at once, because then we get defeated and then we start adding on negativity onto what's already there. And that's not useful. So I wrote a blog for this video, and the blog has a lot of different real life practical techniques that you can use to rebuild your life force energy. And so oftentimes my videos are way different than my blog. So read the blog so you can get a real in-depth understanding of what some things are that you can do. The key is slow and steady progress, because the main thing is that you're staying aware in the now moment. There is no future, there is no past, it doesn't exist. All that exists is here. When I first heard that, when I read The Power of Now, and you probably have seen this in some of my other videos, I've talked about this, I read that book and immediately just started crying for hours, because I was like, no way. I've been lying to myself this whole time. Like, everything that I thought was true about life is not true, and I have to come here now and be here. I can't leave myself and go into the past and go into the future. I can't run from myself anymore. That's what it comes down to. I was running from myself for a lot of years. And this happens. So in my quest for physical health, in my quest for emotional health, spiritual health, mental health, I have discovered some strategies that have really worked well for me. One thing that I really want to talk about real quick here is that I have had a problem with caffeine. 90% of adults, American adults, drink some form of, caffeine, whether that's in green tea, coffee, energy drinks, sodas, whatever it is. So what happens to me is I'll drink a cup of green tea, everything's fine. Next week I'll drink another one, and then all of a sudden, before I know it, I'm drinking green tea all day, and green tea actually has a lot of caffeine in it. I'm going to make an entire video about caffeine and the harmful effects, it's actually devastating effects it has on people's lives. The reason people don't get off caffeine is because it's extremely difficult to do once you have yourself back in that cycle. And I actually did, going through a lot of, all the work that I was doing this year, I felt that I didn't have enough energy on my own and started drinking green tea earlier in the year, and then it turned into a coffee. And wow, talk about depleting your life force energy. That's exactly what caffeine does. Anyway, wait for that video because you'll love it. So it's been about a month, a little over a month, that I stopped drinking any form of caffeine again, and in that have really been more in my body, because there again, I can try to rationalize it in whatever way that I want, but it takes me out of myself. It takes me out of my energy, even if that energy doesn't feel very good. And if it doesn't feel good, I can look within and go through and see, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? What am I ingesting into my body? Where am I in denial? How am I blaming other circumstances for my my actions or my situation? All of those things come from within me, so there's no one I can blame. It's such a wonderful thing when you feel healthy and you feel good and you feel that you're very stable and that you feel that you're calm. It's just wonderful. That's all I can really say about it. It's beautiful when you have yourself, when you really have self-love. And it's amazing because as I keep on and continue on my journey, the amount of self-love keeps growing and growing and growing. You never know how much self-love you can have because it's infinite. It keeps growing and more fabulous things keep happening. But if you're looking outside of yourself for anything, I can tell you, you will always be stuck in some form of lie, because the only truth is love, right? And it's love for yourself. And if you get it's not to criticize yourself or to be hard on yourself, because I've done that a lot, and But when I leave myself and I start tending to everybody else's things, or, oh, that person's doing that, and trying to sort it all out, and then I leave myself. Something about that makes me leave myself. And when that happens, things start to get really hectic and not feel right to me. And so I have to take a lot of time going back within, sorting it out in here. What is it? How can I go in? How can I heal it? How can I rebuild my own life force? Now, in this society, they teach you have to work hard, go, 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 push, 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 and create things in that manner. That's not true. The only real truth is what feels good to you. So whatever feels good to you is truth. If it feels bad to you, it's a lie. So those are the things that we're working with as they're coming up, as they're bubbling up, and we're feeling this pain inside. And we're like, what is this? A big thing I had to work through this month was I did that video on my childhood story, and it really helped a lot of people, and I'm really thankful for that. But something about that video, actually my mom saw it, and I could never get deep enough inside of myself to feel what the feelings were towards my mother, because I don't know, I felt sort of an ambivalence, like I wasn't present with it at all. I couldn't be. Like, I had done a lot of father healing, but the mother healing was just hard. You know why? Because that meant I had to go deeper within me, because I came from my mother, and, I'm a mother. And so these things were probably really hard for me to look at. So, my mom saw the video, and she didn't like it. Obviously. However, I reacted very angrily, and because I didn't know, I felt like I had done wrong, but it was such a gift, such a blessing, because it brought me into a place of discovery in myself. And finally, I was able, for the first time in my life, to really understand why I had, through whatever device it was, going outside of myself, drinking caffeine, or, whatever. Why I had been doing those things. There was a little piece in there that I wasn't willing to move into, and the gift of my mother, who brought this to my attention, who was saying pretty much, I'm not going to tell you what she said, but basically what she was saying is, let go of the story. The story's a lie. Okay? Not to say that these things don't happen, because they do, and they're our greatest gifts because they make us who we are. However, the longer we carry the story inside of us, the more unwanted manifestations appear in our life. So I had, in a sense, been carrying this lie. And because I carried it, I wasn't clear enough to see the truth of my mother and all the blessings she has brought to my life, And because of that, I wasn't able to see my own truth and my own beauty and my own self-love and my own gift as a mother to my children. So, everything happens for a reason. There's no right or wrong, no good or bad. It just is. And when we can learn to sit in this now moment and be completely okay with whatever's going on, then we can begin to rebuild our life force energy. We can begin to create the life that we want. I can give you an example where I almost short-circuited right before this video. And I like to be really authentic, and I like to be truthful with all of you so that you can see how easy it is to slip. I was in a place of, doing pretty well, like just really changing the way that I mother my children and realizing they're just aspects of me, and that everyone, they're free to be who they want to be, and just all I have to do is love them. And I was doing really well, but right before I went to make this video, and it had been a long time since I'd made a video, so I was, really looking forward to that. And I clicked on my, and I tell my kids, never go on mom's computer. They have their own computers and phones, but for some reason they like to use my computer. I don't know why. Anyway, I told them, never use my computer. This is mom's computer. And every time they downloaded some games or something, everything short circuits. So for some reason, because I hadn't used my video camera on my computer for a little while, I didn't know that something was wrong, and I went on to click and it said, error, it's not working. And I was trying to figure it out, scanning things, and I restarted it. Then I see this window come up of one of the games that I'd seen in the past, where I went through this big thing of having to totally defragment my computer because my sons had put this particular game on there that's really bad for my computer, and it makes things start to not work. When I saw that a rush of it's for a second I forgot everything. And I started to race, and I was like, how could this be happening? Like, I told them not to use my computer. Why would they not listen to me? And then I realized, I texted my son, were you on my computer yesterday? And he said, no, I wasn't. And he wasn't lying, because when I went into the control panel, turns out that he had done that, a couple weeks back. And so once I did that, I didn't defragment, but I did something and got it to work again. Anyway, I just wanted to demonstrate that scenario to show you how quickly in an instant we can come and lose ourselves from our own peace. Because things have been really peaceful in my home lately. And so, we're getting along, everything's going well. And, you never think it's going to happen again when, boom, the lesson comes, So I was able to take myself out of that frantic feeling very quickly and realize that some of my past thinking, some of my past actions that weren't so harmonious have come into the now, because that's what will begin to happen as you begin to rebuild your life force, as you begin to change your thinking, as you begin to come into your body, as you begin to let go of old emotional patterns. Really good things manifest for you. But at the same time, old things where you may have been negative or had a really negative pattern for a while will come into that as well. And that's where people get tripped up and they think, oh, this doesn't work. Why even try? Why am I even trying so hard or doing these things when, I get mixed results, one, and two, negative things still happen. Well, they still happen because until you're fully 100% in harmony, in peace most of the time, you're going to have some remnants from the past coming into the current situation. So, just remember that but I can tell you, it gets less and less and less and less as my life goes on, because I've worked on myself so much. And that's the only thing you can work on is yourself. And if people get upset with that, that's okay, because that's a reflection of you feeling guilty for you not taking care of yourself. Isn't it funny? It's so funny. It all comes back to you. You are the creator of everything. And, it seems very tricky, and then it also is such a wonderful blessing to understand that you can take full responsibility for your life and have magical things happen. You know, I'm not going to tell you it's easy because it's not, you know, one day at a time. That's why I'd love for you to read the blog that I wrote for Rebuilding Your Life Force Energy. Take one of those things and really start to work on that one thing until you get really good at it, and then move to the next thing. Don't do it all at once. That's how I used to be. I'm going to change everything right now because, you know, it's hard when you're in a negative space and you really want out. But if you're right now, right here, right now, and you're feeling negative, you can feel into it. You can give it its space to release. You can see what's underneath it and, you know, love yourself anyway, because nobody ever did anything wrong. We're all just trying the very best that we can. We're all just moving into love. That's what we're doing. And sometimes we make mistakes. I've made a lot of mistakes in finding myself, you know, but all those mistakes, all those instances, like that instance that just happened with the computer and my sons, wow, did I learn from that? I learned so much just from that one experience where I started to feel myself getting into negativity and started to negatively create in my life. Um, it showed me that maybe my sons did something a while back. Maybe I was negatively creating at that time. I don't know, because it didn't fit with the current. And so I was confused. I was like, wow, this isn't the energy that I'm in right now. Why is this happening? So you begin to really become aware of processes and understand that, you know, that happened back then, and who knows what was going on at that particular day. I mean, I don't know. So it's discovering yourself, loving yourself, being there for yourself, breathing into your body, eating nourishing foods, meditating, sitting still, allowing yourself to feel sad, crying if you need to cry, getting angry if you need to get angry. Hopefully, you know, not towards others. I tend to, when I get into my process, I tend to block everyone out so that I can really, you know, be with myself. And that's fine. I mean, some people wouldn't agree with that, but that's the way that I need to do it, you know? And maybe I feel a little guilt about that, and I need to work on that within myself. So anyway, I really hope that you are in a good space today and that you love the blog that I wrote, because it's going to be really helpful for you. And no matter what, everything's okay right now. And the quicker you can get to the place where even if something really, really, really bad's happening, that you can be okay, the quicker your life will transform, because everything really is okay. You have everything that you need right now. Look around you. You have everything you need. It may not be what your vision or your imagination decides that you want right now in this moment, but it's perfect for right now. You know, you're on a journey to becoming the vision, but in that, you are the vision. And it is now that the vision is happening. And so, what a wonderful blessing that you can be on this beautiful journey and this process into discovering yourself and your wholeness. I love you all so much. I'm going to be making that caffeine video soon, and a lot of other videos. I'm, you know, starting to come out of my little hibernation here. Whenever the sun's in Scorpio, because I'm a Sagittarius, it's in my 12th house. So for about a month, a year, I really, you know, am in a processing mode. Anyway, I love you all so much. I hope you're having a spectacular day, and I will see you really soon. Okay, bye-bye.